Alright. So the word says that we overcome by, I didn't say the blood of the Lamb, but I know it says by the word of our testimony. And so I have a testimony for you. Another one. I've got hundreds, if not thousands of them, honestly. Like, truthfully, the Lord is amazing. And I don't think I knew it. Oh, my camera's dirty, as per usual. I don't think I really knew it for most of my life, or I wasn't sure anyway. I felt like it was like hit or miss. The whole miracles in my life, I felt like they were either big or too small. I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I thought, but I didn't acknowledge God's grace and grandness in my life very much. And I think a lot of people have had that issue. So in the last video, I'm talking about the mold, right? And then last night, I fasted all day yesterday. I woke up this morning, I felt so weak. I mean, really weak. And I rarely feel physically weak like that. Like, I felt like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna get through today. Weakness. Truly, just like, oh shit. Like, I felt sick, exhausted, and like kind of demoralized. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of demoralized. I felt like, oh my God, like my glands started swelling again, and I thought, how am I gonna do this? I don't know how to do this. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. I genuinely had no idea. So I had a dream last night. I don't really remember it very well. Oh, pardon me. Sometimes I get confirmation on things I don't need confirmation on, but I suppose it confirms things for other people, so in that way it's useful for them. I already know I had a dream last night. I had 2 dreams. The first one was this couple, was a man and a woman who appeared to be Asian? Yeah, Asian. I don't know. I don't remember their faces well enough. And this couple has shown up in my, Bella, be careful, baby. Has shown up in my dreams for a while now, on and off. And I'm not sure like who that is. I'm not sure what archetype that is or who the fuck that is. I'm sure the Lord will show me when I whenever. But I'm not sure who it is. But they appear as different ethnicities and different ages and all kinds of different stuff. But in this first dream, they were trying to make me scared of anything. They were just trying to get me to be afraid, period, of anything. And the way that this couple works is they operate on fear and trauma and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes they try to cause trauma in my dreams, and I'm like, yeah, I'm totally fucking impervious to that. I don't really understand what you're doing because it's pointless. It's a waste of your time and a waste of your energy, and it only makes me stronger. So failure. So in this first dream, they were just trying to get me to be afraid of anything, irritated, agitated, whatever it was, with anything, and confirmation, and like give in to that, like, you know, be like, fuck this, and that's typically like the overarching theme of the dreams that they are in. The second dream, I don't really remember. I don't really, excuse me, I don't really remember it at all, honestly, which is kind of odd, especially because I was fasting. I usually remember fasting dreams very well. But the second one, I remember the very end of it. I'm remembering other parts of it, but it wouldn't make any sense if I tried to explain it to you right now. It's very like fragmented is the word. Sometimes my dreams come back to me like full on, but not all. It doesn't matter right now. The testimony, okay, so at the end of this dream, thank you, Holy Spirit, I remember seeing somebody that I know here in town that's helped me before. And at first my waking mind, my logical mind tried to get in the way and say, oh, that's not going to work, and what do you want to ask for help for anyway? And I'm like, yeah, but I could really benefit from some help right now. I don't really need it and all of that, but I could really benefit from it. And so I'm not going to, be too proud to do that. And especially because it affects me and Bella, and it affects our quality of living. So in this dream, I had seen this person. I know I visit people in their dreams, not in any kind of bad way. I have no interest in causing anybody, any group of people or anything else, any kind of grief in their dreams. I mean, all right, I won't say that. But I visit people in their dreams and kind of like, I don't know, how do I say that? It's kind of like a preemption. It's a precognition is what it is. I don't seek it. I am not a fortune teller. I don't try. The Lord gives me information or he doesn't. It's not anything like, I'm not sitting around reading cards trying to figure stuff out. It's not a fortune telling kind of divining. It's a divine divining that the Lord gives me. I do not seek it out, like at all. It's a privilege to be the Lord's diviner, truthfully. I always just look at my immediate environment. I've talked about this on this channel before. I've made several videos on this channel trying to tell like tarot readers and all that kind of stuff that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's what diviners are supposed to be doing, but they don't listen. They're too interested in the money they make, mostly. A lot of them support their families that way, so I have empathy for that. But I also know that the wages of sin are death. Missing the mark is not a joke. Like, you can ruin yourself and your family, the very people you're trying to support and protect. So anyway, so when I wake up, I just had a snippet of the end of this dream, this vision. And it had this person in it. So I get up physically this morning and I drive my happy little butt over to meet him. And I say, look, this is the deal. We need help. I'm sick. Like I was in tears again this morning. I didn't cry in front of him, but I've been like really upset about this mold situation. I mean, it absolutely stopped me in my tracks. I mean, after 3 weeks of heavy black mold exposure in North Carolina, I had to stop the job. I had to quit. I had to leave. I couldn't do it anymore. Bella seemed better off than I was, but I couldn't do it anymore. I was sick. I had a significantly high fever, the whole thing. I had been taking Tylenol almost the entire time I was there, etc., and it just wasn't working anymore, and I had done everything I could do to mitigate that. So, excuse me, to mitigate the mold situation, but like, you can only do so much. I had gotten like lipoic acid to boost the vitamin C that I was taking, and I spent like $150 on different, are you in the shade there? Yeah, good enough. I spent about $150 ordering supplements from Amazon to boost my immune system, because I knew that this was an issue, and if I couldn't fight it, I would be no good to anyone. So I did everything I could, but knowing that, and having lived in the household that I did when I was a child with the landlord that I explained in the last video, I know mold. I can only take so much of it. Like, I can only handle it for so long. So, and this is like in our car, in the back seat, right behind my seat where I lay my head down at night. So I knew I had to do something. I went to him and I said, look, we need help. I've been keeping a cooler on the back seat. Now I'm keeping a towel under it and then plastic underneath that. So there's a way for the moisture to be absorbed into the towel before it, you know, the cold water hits the plastic and, you know, condenses through the plastics. And it's just like a giant IKEA bag that I've had in my car for like a year, maybe actually longer, 2 years. And, but I put a towel in the bottom of the IKEA bag and I put the cooler on top of that. And I've been letting the seat dry out every time I get a chance. I sprayed it with, well, like I said in the last video, with white vinegar and hydrogen peroxide, which stinks. It smells like ass, honestly. It smells like a weird combination of butt and pee. That's what it smells like to me. Gross. And still, I woke up this morning with swollen glands. So I knew that what I had done wasn't enough. So I tell this gentleman, you know, please, you know, if you can, help me facilitate getting this done at all. If there's anything you can do, please help me. Please help us. We need help. And I was just praying about this last night too. But he says, yeah, no problem. Find a place. Like right there on the spot. Nothing. No hesitation at all. Find a place that will do it, that does this. And call them, make an appointment, find out how much it is, and I will get it done. I'll make it happen. Financially, I mean. And I said, okay. So I got on the phone, checked my phone, you know, like did some research on my phone. I didn't have to do much. The first place I called, they didn't answer. The second place I called, they answered, and the guy was really cool, and I told him what the deal was. We live in our car. We can't have this. Like, it just can't be. It just can't. We just can't have any mold in this car. And he said, immediately, he said, I understand. He said, I have a Sprinter van, and I have a couple guys that work for me that live in their vehicles. We know the issue, and we know how important it is. And I told him about my dog. This guy's a dog lover. He's got a dog. He's got like, looks like a Jack Russell. Great dog. He's even sent me a video of him and his dog skateboarding. 13 on the timer. Like, I can tell this guy gets it. Like, he gets it and he understands, like, the urgency of it, because he gave me an appointment for tomorrow morning to get it done. And it's done. It's already done. I'm not going to say it's not even done yet, because it is done. It's done. That was one of the things that the Lord taught me about timeline jumps, is that if you, when I shouldn't say if, it's when you consider something already done, it's already done. It's just done. It's done. And that's one of the most efficient ways to, thank you, Holy Spirit, the most efficient ways to jump timelines is consider it already done. You know, you may not be looking at it yet, but when you don't look at your circumstances and you walk in the faith, like don't walk by sight, but by faith, with the Holy Spirit, it's already there. It's already accomplished. Like, I'm not going to sit here and trip out on the mold, because it's already done. It's already fixed. It's already done. And then confirmation, and then I'll just need to, you know, go sit somewhere tomorrow and, you know, let the back seat air out. That's it. It's already done. It's amazing. That's my testimony about the mold right now. Like, I just did a video about this, what, like 2 days ago? Just this morning I almost let myself slip you know, where like you're like, oh shit, like this is serious. This is, my glands were swollen again this morning, and I just thought, oh man. And confirmation, excuse me. But also I knew that fasting it helped in certain ways, in other ways it did not. It starved the mold, but it was also really hard on my body. Like, it was an extra stressor on my body. So it really wasn't the fasting. Like, we can't live in mold. We just can't. So anyway, that's done. It's done. Amazing. Is that not amazing? Like, I know it sounds like a small thing. It may sound like a small thing, but when you start to accumulate, like, those little things are cumulative, and when you look at all of them, and even all the things that have happened to us in the last just couple years since we've had this car, me and Bella, since we've had this car, it's amazing what the Lord has done. Just, I mean, I have followed him all the way across America, all the way back, up and down, zigzagged, and then all the way down into Baja California and back again. You know, that's the main reason I make these videos, is because the Lord does amazing things in our lives. And I want to share that, because I think people, when people see the evidence, like, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things yet unseen, like not yet seen. There's one of these little, they mimic tree or rose thorns in my car right now. But I was just praying about this yesterday. Go on, guy. Go on, little guy. Here. There you go. You get onto there. Oh. It's a phlegmy, cough, snotty nose thing. It's gotta go. And I know it'll clear up as soon as I get the mold out of the car. But it was the first place that answered the phone to it, and it's called Allies. Like, and the way that this guy answered the phone too, he said, and I asked him, I said, is it Allies or Allies? And he said, Allies. He said, we'd rather be friends than enemies. I said, I'm talking to the right person. And then I send him my information, and because he confirms appointments by text, and I send him a little picture I sent him a picture of me and Bella, and he sent me right back a video of him skateboarding with his dog on the skateboard with him. I'm like, this is the place. And, you know, he right off the bat made it clear to me that you know, that this is, he understands the situation, he understands the seriousness of it, he understands that, you know, it's in your living space, you cannot have it. And he also understood, like, the seriousness of black mold, because it's very toxic. So, and I just recently washed everything. I mean, I washed clothes that weren't even dirty, that I hadn't even worn, just because they probably had mold spores on them, even though it was probably very little. That little bit, like, again, is cumulative, and, you know, but the cloth, you know, surface, I'm sure the rest of the surfaces are fine. They've been dry, they're not growing any mold, but that back seat, like, they're dirty, but the back seat is where the mold is. And I haven't been able to, you know, completely rid the car of it, so. But that's just, you know, it's another thing. And like I said, I usually remember my dreams clearly too. Like, I usually remember extensive details about my dreams. But this last night, I didn't remember anything, but I remember this last little snippet of it at the end. And it directed me right to the exact person that was going to help me. Like, super stoked on that. Look at those booty buns. Oh, I just love those booty buns. My dog has the cutest butt ever. Of course, all dog butts are cute, but my dog butt is especially cute to me. I love those booty buns. And I'm always checking out my dog's butt. Oh, can I touch it? Oh, it's so nice. Oh, it's such a nice booty. I love my dog's butt. It makes me happy. But anyway, that's that. Works out. It does. It does. It truly does when you trust. It truly, truly does when you trust. So, and it's not easy. I get that. Sometimes it feels downright impossible. But I think the more impossible things look, it's almost easier to trust in those times because it looks impossible. So it's like you either have two choices. You can either bemoan your situation and look at all the factual data, like logical data and all that. And I get that. My mind is very analytical. And at the same time, I also know that when it comes to overcoming what look like impossible circumstances, I also know that analytical thinking, logical thinking doesn't do me any good. Not at all. So the walking in faith, that's what helps. That's what changes things. That's what moves the spiritual realm, aka the quantum realm, that faith. Like I've said this before in this channel, when we were in Mexico and I had no money and I didn't know what we were doing or where we were going or how we were going to do anything, I simply kept my eyes on the Lord. I didn't look left. I didn't look right. I didn't look left. I didn't look right. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I didn't look at anything except the Lord's promises. What he promises us in his word. To not have plans for harm, but plans for good, plans for hope, and a future full of prosperity. That's what I kept my eyes on. And sure enough, it worked out. I remember for months, probably 3 months before the accident on the 154 happened, I actually wrote a handwritten letter to the owner of Kirby Subaru about this. I think I actually might have it in my phone somewhere. I don't remember. Maybe I might have a copy of it. But I wrote this letter to the got paint on me. Oh, I should show you what I've been painting. I wrote a letter to the dealer, to the owner of the dealership, I should say. I'm glad that didn't spill. Gross. At Kirby Subaru of Ventura, the place where this Subaru came from, this particular car that we have. And I knew that it was because of the head salesman at the time, a man named Rick Mueller. He's the one who got us this car. He saw my story and he just knew that this car had just been donated back to Subaru. Oh, excuse me. And he knew, he said, he's told me this story a couple times, that something told him that this car was for me, and Bella. Which is another, evidence, that God can use anyone. You don't have to be a believer for God to use you. The Lord has shown me this many times. Many of the people who have helped us or people who have, just little things here and there, they were not believers. They were not walking with the Lord at all. So 2411 on the timer when I said that. So it's clear evidence to me that the Lord can and will use whomever he wants, period. There's a significant debate within Torah scholars, between Torah scholars and sages, that talks about, do we have free will or not? And the Torah and Tanakh and all these writings, they're very clear about, really the only thing you have a choice in is whether to follow the Lord or not, whether to have the fear, aka awe, of the Lord or not. and everything else is, you know, pretty much preset, written in stone already. So the idea behind this is that you can either do it with the Lord or not. It's up to you. Like, bad things are going to happen, good things are going to happen either way. You can either do it with the Lord, in which case you always have company and you always have somebody with you, or you can do it alone. And even in that case, you're not actually doing it alone, but you feel very alone in it because you won't acknowledge that you're not alone. So, but the underlying idea behind that is that when you give your will to the Father, when you give your will and you say, you know, not your will, but not my will, but yours be done, Father. That's when the Lord truly gives you free will to construct your reality as you see fit. As long as it's in alignment with the Lord's will, of course. But like, I don't see why I would want anything that's outside of the Lord's will. Truthfully, like, I wouldn't even want that. It's just not even something I would want. Even things that I've struggled with for decades, I've told the Lord, and I thought I wanted them. That's what I wanted. But like, truthfully, at the end of the day, I trust the higher power in me, the greater consciousness that sees it all, to know what's best for me better than I ever could, period. And when you have that kind of trust, and you can give your will freely, and not out of fear, not out of any other thing, but just because you want to, because you recognize and acknowledge that you don't know what's best for you. And I genuinely don't know. I don't know what's best for me. I think I do sometimes, and then often I've gotten that thing that I wanted. The Lord will give it to me, or drops it right in my lap, and it turns out to be a total effing disaster. And I'm like, oh. And He's shown me this multiple times, in many ways. He's shown me that that's, you know, until you're ready, or until I give it to you. It's, you know, if you don't have it yet, there's a reason why I'm either repairing you, or, you know, it's just not good for you, and maybe you should just let it go. And I've learned to trust that. It's not easy. I get that. I know that it's not easy. I know that sometimes the frustration that we feel about certain issues in our life, whether we want love or financial blessings, or you know, whatever that is, it's like, if it's not good for us, if it's not right, if we're not ready for it, the Lord will keep it away from us purposefully. And sometimes that feels like a struggle, but at the end of the day, when I look at it, is it a struggle? Because, you know, if I truly want what the Lord wants for me, which is always the best, the Lord always wants the best. It doesn't always look good. Sometimes it's, you know, really like messy and not glamorous and not pretty at all. But He always wants the good for me. Always. And I you know, I can't deny that. I know what it is. I've been shown what that is many times. And you know, even like, I have outright screamed at the Father, saying, you know, why are we living in our fucking car, and blah blah blah, on and on. I mean, full on just tore everything apart verbally. And like, at this point, I just relax, because I know that if this is where I am, this is where I'm supposed to be. I don't mean just geographically, but like spiritually, if this is where I am, this is where I'm meant to be. End of story. I can't always explain it. Like I said, it sometimes it looks like a total unmitigated disaster, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I can relax, because I know that no matter what it looks like, it's the best thing for me at the time. And so I encourage you to attempt do your very best to look at things the same way, because there's true peace in it. True peace. And you just sleep like a baby at night, because you just know that you're right where you're supposed to be. And you don't have to question it. You don't have to wonder about, should I have gone left at Albuquerque? You don't have to do that. You don't have to wonder. You don't have to worry. The Lord has your back like a jacket. Better than a jacket, in fact. I mean, he's closer than our own breath. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I say all of these things like outside of any kind of religious belief set. I am not part of any religious system or any secret society of any kind at all. The Lord himself initiated me in the mystery schools. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't even know what was going on for a very long time. I didn't even know that that's what was happening to me for like 2 years, maybe even longer. So, you know, let the Lord do his work in you. I painted these. I like them both. I did the edges with glow-in-the-dark paint. And then this, like the veins are glow-in-the-dark paint. And then these dots are glow-in-the-dark paint. I checked it out last night when it was dark in the cart. They look so cool. Here's the other one. This one, the glow-in-the-dark paint is like around here, the white edges, and then in this, all these dots, and then in here, and then on the edges too. It's really bright glow-in-the-dark paint too. It looks really cool. It looks really cool. I like them. They came out really well. I knew they would too because I was excited about painting them. I saw little mushy rooms. I was like, oh, that's so me. Plant medicine has been a big, huge factor in healing the trauma that has gone on in my life. I mean, I microdosed for probably like 3 months every day. For like 3 months. Did a lot of crying. Did a lot of like reminiscing, I think. But it wasn't really reminiscing. It was like reliving those moments. And like overlaying a new, more healthy, like healed timeline. So, I believe in plant medicine 100%. It works. It helps. It does exactly what it's meant to do. I'm not saying we should like sit around and get high on mushrooms all the time, but done in under proper circumstances with the leadership of the Holy Spirit in us. It's just, it's amazing. It works wonders. Literally works wonders. Let's see. I did this one. This one's pretty. I like that one. And then I did this one too. I'm still working on this one. It's not quite done. It doesn't have all the finishing touches in it yet, but it will have. I like this one. I like doing the mandalas. I really like them. It's kind of like a, I don't know, it just relaxes my brain. I don't know what else to say. And I noticed that when I close my eyes, that's what I see. I'm seeing fractals in my eyes, like behind my eyes in the darkness. I can see fractals and like mandala type, very colorful patterns. I don't know how else to describe them. Like fractals. They look like fractal mandala type repeating pattern colors and shapes, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I think I may have been seeing them behind my eyes my whole life and I just didn't notice it. I am not sure about that, but either way, I have them now, and I think they're beautiful. I suspect I've always had them, though. Anyhow, I hope this video finds you blessed. I'm 100% more. I'm more than 100% aware of how hard life can be, of how alone we feel at times, and how the whole idea of God just feels like a bunch of bullshit sometimes. I get that. I get that. We look at our circumstances and we're just like, how the fuck is God gonna help us? Well, I know I've been there too. I have spent plenty of time cursing him. Even like in the last couple years, I've cursed him, and there have been times when I have just lost it and just sat around and cursed his name. And cursed him and just said, what the fuck, you know? You and your stupid plan, look at how it worked out. only to realize that he had better plans than what I saw, than what I understood. So, try to keep that in mind. I'm fully aware of how difficult it can be. But no matter how difficult it is, when you're walking with the Lord, he never leaves you alone in it. You're never alone. You don't have to suffer through anything by yourself. And the Lord knows exactly how you feel. And he doesn't ever sit around and be like, I told you so. I know how you feel. No, he's like, oh, my love, I know you're so tired. Like the endless gentleness and softness that he treats us with. It keeps my heart soft towards him. And it helps me love others as myself too. Because I see past their anger. I see past their bitterness and resentment to why they do the things that they do. I don't agree with the things that they do, but I also know that the tendency for human nature is to do things because we're in pain and because we're afraid. Anyhow, I know that the Lord has good plans for me, and I would guarantee, I can guarantee that he has good plans for you too. It takes changing of perspective. We have to change our perception, because what the world tells us are good plans is not God's plans. They may be completely different. It may be something similar, but rarely. I find that the world's plans for us and God's plans for us are very different. So let go of what you see physically. Let go of what you know in your mind, because it will not help you. It will not help you. The more delusional you're able to be about God's word and to believe that singularly above everything else, the better off you will be. The more you try to fight it and try to say, but look at things. Look at this. The more you will not get anywhere. The more you're banging your head against a wall that is just gonna ruin you. So, anyhow, love, blessings, and compassion to everyone. You are more powerful, more loved, more cherished, more supported, more vindicated, more validated than you can possibly ever know. It's amazing. Please take care of one another and take care of yourselves. Peace be with you.